Stays and lays it in.
Walking inside once again, Hendrick Sora, nice long pass to Lawrence.
Hanahan, right through traffic. This is Taylor Williams, and she drains it.
Strong movement by Struffel. Nice move, left-handed shot is good.
It's to Perkins, she's got product, he does. Makes it! Makes it!
And welcome back to Albany, New York, the home of the 2017 MAAC Women's Basketball Championships here on ESPN3 as we come to you from the Times Union Center. Downtown Albany, it's semifinals Sunday as the third-seeded Fairfield Stags take on the two-seed Ryder Bronx in our second semi of the day. A lot of action going on, and you take a look at the women's bracket already advancing Quinnipiac. They just bested Iona in a real good ball game by 5. They await the winner of this game between Fairfield and Ryder. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Julianne Vianic, I'm Dean Darling. Thanks for joining us for our second semi-call of the day. Julianne, this is a storyline that has developed over the last couple of weeks. The best player in the MAAC, Robin Perkins of the Ryder Bronx, and she was named that just on Friday, the Player of the Year, is out for now. It'll be the 7th straight game with a foot injury. However, Ryder has compensated and won 5 of the first 6 she's been out.
Well, I think that they've just started coming together. They've got that chemistry, and they don't have her as an option to have to force the ball into her. And they're just playing as a team, passing the ball better, but they're playing a Fairfield team that is super fundamentally sound, a team that has swept them in the regular season and has excellent interior play. Can they handle them without Perkins? I think that's the big question mark here.
All right, let's get right to our key players, brought to you by I Love New York.
Well, for Fairfield, it's been an interior team all season long, but Kelsey Carey, the first-team All-MAACer, led the team in scoring in the quarterfinals over Marist with 15 points, 6 boards, 4 steals. She really got to the free throw line. This is a player that can turn and face like a guard, take it at you. She's got post moves, been consistent all season. She's an undersized post, but for Ryder, it's been Julia Duggan. She's had to really step it up in the absence of Robin Perkins being injured the past 6 games. She had 19 points, 15 boards against Monmouth in the quarterfinals, was a beast. She's the anchor on the defensive end and playing like a true veteran, but these are the 2 players to watch today. 2 great players, a first-teamer in Kelsey Carey and a third-teamer in Julia Duggan.
New York State, it's all here. It's only here. Visit iloveny.com. We take a look at our lineups, brought to you by BSN. Casey Foley leading the MAAC in assist-to-turnover ratio 2-1. Another young sophomore will join her in Landy. Cooper, Smith, and Carey line up on that front line with some real presence. There for the Ryder Bronx, Cami Hushkova. What a year she's had. 5'9", junior from the Czech Republic. Stella Johnson, a freshman, made the MAAC All-Rookie team. Taylor Wenzel, as well as Safi Toulouzo, in for the injured Robin Perkins, and Julia Duggan, who we highlighted just moments ago. There you see the cheerleaders here for the Ryder Bronx. Ryder Bronx coming off a nice win in the quarters against Monmouth, 67-51. Fairfield, meanwhile, defeated Marist yesterday, 61-44. 3rd win in a row. Joe Frager in his 10th year for the Stags, and he is, again, looking for his 190th win here tonight for Fairfield. He's taken them to 2 MAAC finals and also won a Division II national championship for Southern Connecticut State back in 07. Lynn Milligan for the Ryder Bronx, her 10th year as well, just named MAAC Coach of the Year this season. 22 regular season wins. That's the most in Ryder in 35 years. A 1992 graduate of Ryder University, played there, coached there, got her master's degree there, and again, rewarded by the other coaches being named Coach of the Year. The series history, lots of games, Fairfield and Ryder. One of the original members of the MAAC 45th meeting. Fairfield leads it 38-6. Couple tight games. Fairfield won in the regular season. The officials for this one are Kathy Lonergan, Kevin Rulin, Keith Miller. Ready to go from the Times Union Center as Quinnipiac awaits the winner of this game between the 2-seed Rider and the 3-seed Fairfield Stags.
It's the first time since 2013-14 season for Rider to reach the semifinals. This is a great core group of seniors. So they've been there, played a lot of minutes. Robin Perkins out, has not played the last 6 games. So this is her 7th game not playing. The player of the year, and they've been winning without her. And that's a huge loss for them, because then you wonder, how would they be doing with her? How much better would they be doing? She's such a phenomenal scorer.
Named to the first team all-conference as well, obviously, as player of the year. And again, they've had to compensate for that. They played well, winning 5 of the 6 she's missed before today, and she is a senior for this program. So the Stags turn the ball over. Here's Rider, led by Taylor Wentz. Wentz playing a lot of games in her career. It's her 123rd career game. She and Duggan have been with the program. They've been through the trials and tribulations of the program, but peaking this year with the 23 regular season wins. So Hushkova on the board to give Rider a lift. Stags coming off a 17-13 record. They went 13-7 in the MAAC. Tied them for 3rd, but because of the tiebreakers, they get the 3rd seed. Here's Cooper. She's pretty good on those outside shots.
But the key for Fairfield, and always is execution by getting paint touches. This is a team that's really good inside. They've got to limit 2nd and 3rd chance opportunities for Rider, but Rider is coming out here to a nice start.
And again, Taylor Wentz going glass that time, and once again, Fairfield down for their 3rd opportunity. They called the big 3 with Cooper, Carey, as well there as Smith, and the turnover. So a couple turnovers, uncharacteristic of Fairfield. They actually lead the MAAC in fewest turnovers.
Julia Duggan will be a real key in the paint defensively. She can body up some of the post players for Fairfield. Now, Fairfield doesn't have real girthy posts, just their finesse posts, but they're very good. They can step out, they can turn and face, they're skilled.
In goes Duggan, offensive foul. So Duggan dipping the shoulder, called out there by the official.
And Carey takes the charge. Nice job selling it too. I mean, that was a really good play. She had position.
Joe Frager's backcourt has really grown up in the 2nd half of the season with Foley and Landon. Carey, she's called on the offensive foul.
Oh, they're going to call it tight, so you got to know that now. Didn't see the push off, but
Joe Frager talking to Keith Miller right there. Wenzel, Duggan out there, Toulouzo, Hushkova, Johnson for the Rider Bronx. Kept alive, though, by Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Duggan. And on that weak side, they bring in the rebound, and the person of Casey Foley. Had a good game against Maris when she scored 6 points, handed out a couple of assists, played a lot of minutes. Turnovers, though, Fairfield really having problems. Struggling
early on. Rider just real aggressive on the defensive end. A nice pass into the paint.
Duggan with the putback.
2nd and 3rd chance opportunities could really hurt Fairfield. Great job with the hustle on the glass.
So the timeout comes from Fairfield's bench because they're down already, 6-0.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Want to achieve more than you ever thought possible? At Canisius College, you can. A Canisius education is packed with extraordinary opportunities like top-level scientific research, global service experiences, and real-world connections. Want to intern at a Fortune 500 company? Want to get into the best medical and law schools? Want to be a champion for social justice? You can. Here.
So, Mr. Harris, we have your fingerprints on the safe, a photo of you opening the safe, a post using the hashtag #JustRobbedTheSafe. So, what are we supposed to think?
Switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance.
Excellent point. Case dismissed.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
If you want to celebrate winter in a palace of ice, there's only one place to go. And that's not the only thing you can only find in New York State. You can find it all, only in New York. New York, it's all here, it's only here. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
MAAC basketball is brought to you by Geico. And I love New York. New York State. It's all here. It's only here. Visit iloveny.com. And Life Storage. It's your life. Store it with care. And UHY, the leading choice for professional tax and business consulting services. UHY, experience the next level of service. There's Cooper and a Fairfield concerned head coach Joe Frager calling for a timeout, and Perkins is right behind Cooper, obviously in sweats, in the MAAC Player of the Year, 4th in the league in scoring, 7 games of 20 or more, and only playing 4 total minutes in the last 7 games. She gets hurt in the Iona game. It was a top of the foot injury that's really plagued her, and she did make one appearance. It was on senior day, and they basically, it's a 0+ situation in minutes.
It's so unfortunate in your 5th year as a senior to not get to play in them. These are the most fun. These games are the most fun. But to do what they've been able to do without her is pretty impressive, if you ask me. They've come together, missing their go-to player, just figured it out. I think this team's been figuring it out all year, and they've done a great job.
Johnson exploding through the lane. Hushkova will dig it out.
The philosophy that Lynn Milligan drilled into this group early in the year was give up the shot that you can make for the shot that we can't miss. And they have bought into that philosophy, making the extra pass, sharing the basketball.
Shot clock under 5. Inside-outside game, and Johnson dug in another offensive stick back.
This is where Fairfield gets in trouble. When they don't rebound, that has been a problem all season. When they haven't done their job on the boards, they get vulnerable. So this is they've got to box out. They're in a big hole here.
Duggan is killing them on the glass. She already has 4 boards. Carey. Rebound to Wenzel. And here come the Rider Bronx.
Don't think for a second, too, Ryder doesn't remember the games they lost in the regular season. One of those was an overtime game where they didn't play a full 40 minutes full strength. They didn't finish that one out, and I know that gets under their crawl because Lynn's talked about it since.
And there's a story behind the story. We'll get into that, how they lost that game. This is Landy. They just need these guards to settle down the team a little bit. They've already had 4 turnovers in their first 5 possessions and a bump by Hushkova. Yeah, the story behind the story was Fairfield was down by 3. And Sammy Kramer came off the bench. We'll see her in a little bit. She's a freshman. She hits a 3 with 2 seconds left and gets fouled by Duggan and makes the free throw, a 4-point play, and they win the game by 1 in OT. That was in Lawrenceville. That one really hurt.
Really hurt at home. Actually, Rider's been tremendous on the road this year.
Well, the best team on the road. When you look at 11-4 overall.
They've been road warriors all season.
So in the alternate possession, the ball going back. There's Robin Perkins. Give her a lot of credit. I mean, she's been here the entire time the team's been here. She accepted her Player of the Year award back on Friday, and just basically now a glorified cheerleader.
Right. And she's improved her efficiency this season. They don't have her. But yeah, I'm sure there were some question marks about her getting the award. She missed a bunch of games near the end of the year, but she really was one of the best players in the league. Let's be honest. Trying to force the action here at 2 red defenders. That's a situation you've got to be smart and pull it out, or take the pull-up jumper.
So Johnson just got her 2nd foul, and they'll bring in Lexi Posset. Posset had a good game in the win the other day, and she's been playing well of late. Another violation on Fairfield. This is uncharacteristic of Joe Frager's team.
Really sloppy play right now.
6 turnovers, I would say, in maybe 10 possessions.
I'd like to say, all right, let's chalk it up to jitters, but at this point, you've got a bunch of seniors and juniors on this team, and you wouldn't think it would be jitters.
Posset had it deflected. It'll be 12 on the shot clock for Ryder to inbound by the Fairfield bench. Ryder comes off the win against Monmouth on Friday here in the quarterfinals, so they had that day off, 67-51. Meanwhile, Fairfield just played yesterday against Marist and beat them by 17, their 3rd win in a row.
And that was the first time they'd beaten Marist this season. Marist beat them twice in the regular season.
Never had beaten Marist in the playoffs either.
Right, it was a very decisive victory too.
Rebound by Kristen Miller. She's had a real nice senior year. 6th player off the bench for them. Landy and Foley will try and get it going at the guards. Miller, Smith, and Cooper right now on the floor on the front line. And here's another offensive foul.
Fairfield just looks totally out of sync on both ends of the floor right now. They only averaged 14 turnovers a game, the fewest in the MAAC, and already up to 7.
Halfway there.
It's the first quarter. That's pretty bad.
We still have 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, you know Joe Frager is not happy.
And he already burned a timeout.
They've got to calm down, play their game, and start to chip away here.
Duggan off the entry, snuffed out by Smith.
Duggan's so tough. I just think she plays with such a toughness and tenacity.
And she, like other players we've seen in this tournament, is on a mission as a senior.
She's a true post player. She can push you around a little bit on the block, and Fairfield's guards are pretty slender. I mean, post players.
This is Smith trying to get separation, and finally 2 points on the board at the 2:45 mark of the opening quarter.
And Smitty's got that ability.
Joe Frager exhorting his team on from the nearby bench, trying to look for that loose ball.
He wants them to get back into this, get into the 50-50 situations. As bad as they've played, it's still low scoring. It's still early. So you got to nip it in the bud early and chip back.
He, like Milligan, both in their 10th year. 327th game he's coaching in here this afternoon. 8 winning seasons and just 1 losing season. This is Sammy Kramer. We talked about her in the 4-point play that beat Ryder in a walk. The young guards for Fairfield are having some problems.
That's kind of been a hole this season where I think Ryder has the leg up. Ryder's guards are really solid. They've been their key this year has been their point guard play. They've got some really solid point guards. Posset, Wenzel at the top have been tremendous facilitators and managers of the game.
Landy out of the pack with the ball.
Well, Fairfield to me doesn't have a true point guard. Kind of done it by committee. They
had started Macy Hollinshead for 3/4 of the season, but lately they have gone with the backcourt of Foley and Landy.
Fairfield doesn't want to get caught in one-on-one play. When they're at their best and playing well, it's when they're racking up the assists. And we've seen that all season. It's when they are passing well, moving the ball well, cutting hard. That's the kind of Fairfield basketball we've seen most of the season when they've been doing well.
Only second appearance in the MAAC semifinals in the history of Rider basketball.
They went on a 4 or 5 game winning streak this season, averaging almost 20 assists a game during that period.
They definitely look for each other, and especially with the big three that we talked about with Cooper, Smith, and Carey. But right now, Carey isn't even in the lineup. Fairfield in the regular season went 13-7, played well at the end of the year with that win yesterday against Marist, the third in a row, and they've won 7 of their last 9. Here's Cooper. The save by Hashkoba.
Give and go situation there. You got to finish that layup.
Toulouse, though, they brought her in from Switzerland, and lucky enough for them, they've got a score that helps out with Perkins on the bench with the injury. Kramer on the reach-in. Riders won 10 of their last 11 games. They're on a mission as well. Coming off a record of 8-22 a year ago. Came into this game 23-7. What an improvement that is.
Yeah, huge improvement.
Duggan goes to the other side.
Duggan's killing them. She is scoring at will and just getting the ball in the post at will. You've got to make it a little harder for her to catch the ball and make a move.
Duggan 3 of 7 from the field. Already 4 rebounds, just the 1 foul in 9 minutes of action. They tried to repost. Duggan will slip out on the steal. You have to feel good for a young lady like Wenzel. She's been through all the hard times, and there were 9 years of hard times, I'll tell you that, even though she's now in her 4th year. Program that's been resurrected by Lynn Milligan.
She makes the big shots and the big plays a lot.
2 seconds left here in the quarter. Wouldn't fall that time for Wenzel. But a convincing opening quarter as Ryder went inside with Duggan. Fairfield turned it over multiple times.
Turn this way? Yeah. That's better? Okay. Joe, tough start. You guys typically don't turn the ball over too much. What do you accredit the turnovers? How do you clean it up and get back to Fairfield basketball with good ball movement?
I think it's 2 factors. I think right now Ryder's being very, very physical with us. They're not allowing us to cut. We've got to adjust to that. And I think that once they got out to that 6-0 lead, our kids got panicky. And we got out of our offense and we started to try to do some things one-on-one. We're not that type of a basketball team. So those are the 2 things we've got to tighten up.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Joe Frager's group had a real tough quarter. They turned the ball over a total of 10 times, and Joe just spoke to Julianne about that first quarter.
Joe, tough start. You guys typically don't turn the ball over too much. What do you accredit the turnovers? How do you clean it up and get back to Fairfield basketball with good ball movement?
I think it's two factors. I think right now Riders being very, very physical with us. They're not allowing us to cut. We've got to adjust to that. And I think that once they get out to that 6-0 lead, our kids got panicky. And we got out of our offense and we started to try to do some things one-on-one. We're not that type of a basketball team. So those are the two things we've got to tighten up.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
The other nemesis for Joe Frager has been Riders' Julia Duggan. What a great first quarter. 6 points, 4 boards she had.
She's really battling in there and just being aggressive. You saw it from the beginning, and her physical play is exactly what Fairfield's struggling with. She's banging them around. She's a little bit stronger, bigger, tougher. She's getting her own rebound, second, third chances. She's finding ways to just get herself open, and her teammates are looking for her. Ryder looks good. They're really moving the ball well.
Duggan takes 7 of their 15 shots. She converts 3 of them, as you see her graphic. And again, 11 double-doubles this year. She tied Alexis Lewis, who we just saw from Iona, and what a game she had, as you mentioned yesterday. 19 points, 15 rebounds.
But Joe was right about the physical play. You know, that's where they can struggle. They're a finesse team, just a terrific team in that regard, and a lot of fun to watch as far as their skills as basketball players. But when a team gets really physical with them is when they have a hard time. You can see that's Ryder's game plan here.
That was a force because of the shot clock situation, but it comes right into the hands of Wetzel.
They're getting every extra possession, every extra rebound. It's going to Ryder. You've got to eventually get those if you're Fairfield.
Fawcett has come off the bench and just done great things this year as a sophomore for Pittsburgh. Here's Wenzel. It's an all-Pittsburgh backcourt right now. And it's a 3 by the other Pittsburgh native, Fawcett.
Nice patience. You wait till you get the good shot opportunity, and Fawcett nails it.
13-2 lead here for the Bronx. Remember, Fairfield swept them in the regular season.
Fairfield playing scared here.
Yeah, they are. And I think Joe documented that to you. They had to get Carey back in the lineup. She's got the real inside presence.
It's the most open shot they've gotten the whole first half here.
Fawcett calls out certain play call. Lynn Milligan, a real nice blend of players. Toulouse, Fawcett, they're youngsters in the program to join a veteran like Hushkova and Duggan and Wenzel.
They learned a lot of lessons last year, and they're carrying that into effect this season. Last year they were a little bit inexperienced and thrown into major roles. They're used to their roles this season. That's why they've done so well.
Cooper. And also Frager's point was we're just getting out-physicaled right now. And here is Smith with 3 on the shot clock, looking for Cooper.
Nice defense yet again, and that time it was Toulouse just being strong on the block. Toulouse, one of their X factors. She's that third guard. Now their second guard, because Robin is not in there. That can kind of come in and get minutes.
I think the officials, excuse me, Julian, I think the officials are just questioning, was it a shot clock type of thing? They put a new 30 back on the board as the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by a Bronc, and I look over, I see Kathy Lonergan telling Lynn Milligan the situation. So Fairfield gets a new shot clock. Hollinshead. Hollinshead had started most of the year at the point guard position, then lost her position to Landy.
She knows the system. She's got to get, it would only help them if she could hit a couple.
Good touch passing by the Bronx.
You see Fairfield here in a zone. Good possession defensively, energy-wise by Fairfield switching into that zone.
That is Liz Doan, first time in the lineup. She's from Turkey. Transferred in from Western Nebraska Community College. Hollinshead, Cooper, Carey, Smith. Right now on the floor with Foley. Cooper, you know what? She put her head down. And Duggan saw it coming.
She certainly anticipated that play, and you've got to keep your head up and realize where you are on the floor. That's where you need to have a pull-up game. So many people try to force their way in, but Duggan does a good job just being gritty and taking it. A really gritty, tough team.
Peluso. Deposit.
They want to see if they can force Ryder to make some shots from the perimeter.
Duggan likes that spot. Too long. So Hollinshead coming off the bench from Needmore, Pennsylvania. Third-year player, but she was a reserve her first couple of years, trying to learn from very good players in front of her. Tough shot. Doan will control the glass. Duggan. And Doan got knocked down in the lane. Another foul on the Stags.
I do like, though, the switch to his own by Joe Frager here.
Yeah.
You can tell Ryder's settling for some perimeter shots, missing their last couple.
He just took out one of his best players, first teamer Carey, with her second personal foul. Ryder has taken 20 shots already in the ball game, just 9 for the Stags before that shot.
Well, the Stags have turned it over so many times. How do you get an opportunity when you turn it over 10 times? It's giving away possession after possession.
Here's Miller to turn on Doan.
Nice job. That's the way to get really deep in the lane. Christine Miller gets the post up.
So there's the zone, Julian, you talked about for the Stags. See how Ryder can attack. 3-second violation. It's stymied them.
Yep, you've got to throw teams off, especially in league play with different defenses and different things. And I think Joe felt like, hey, I'm going to make them, we're going to pack it in because Duggan is killing us and try to get them to make some shots from the perimeter. They're on a 7-0 run because they're getting some stops, and then finally a few have fallen for them.
Hollinshead hit that big three that kind of ignited them. Kick violation. 4:49 left here in the second quarter. Low scoring game. Stags have come back. They've closed within 4 in Albany.
We see the world differently. Where some see challenge, we see opportunity. We use the lessons of the past to drive our vision of the future. We are a global gateway, a classroom and laboratory, retreat and home. We stand up, step forward, and fight the good fight to prepare tomorrow's leaders and visionaries. We are a gale force that breaks down barriers to move the world.
We are MAAC. Student athletes from MAAC schools meet 3 times a year
to discuss NCAA legislation,
share our school's best practices,
and make a difference
by volunteering in the community.
At the MAAC, our voices are heard.
Though we compete against each other,
we are united,
working towards the common goal of enhancing the student-athlete experience.
We are
MAAC.
Oh, yes, there you go. Little dribble drive.
Feel the intensity of NCAA March Madness.
That's a 3.
You've got to see it to believe it. The 2017 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship first and second rounds. March 16th and 18th at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets for your seats today.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
Fulfill your educational goals on a 22-acre private residential campus just minutes away from the world's economic, cultural, communications, and entertainment center, New York City. For more than 160 years, Manhattan College has promised a Lasallian Catholic education featuring 5 schools of study that challenge students to excel academically while providing career opportunities second to none. Find out what Manhattan College can promise your future.
March Madness, NCAA style, headed to the Buffalo area March 16th and 18th. Be there to share the experience with your family and your friends. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets for ticket and hospitality options. Fairfield band trying to get their team inspired a little bit. And a situation where Fairfield scored 2 measly points in the first quarter. And now they battled back here, outscoring Rider in the second quarter, 7-3. Very fortunate to be in the game, having turned the ball over 11 times. And yet they're within 4 up on the board.
And that is where, if you're Joe, you've got to be happy. They responded after coming out really flat. I mean, you're going to have the jitters. It's the MAAC semifinals, and clearly his team was feeling that pressure coming in. But much better the last few minutes here.
Turnover on the Bronx, and his team now is running the offense. They run that high-low quite often. They weren't doing that. They were losing the ball in offensive fouls and just throwing it away, and now it looks like they're executing what they need to do.
2 points in that first quarter, Dean, as you said, and 9 at this point. So what an effort.
And they're doing it again without their leading scorer. Carey on the bench with 2 personals. Shot clock under 5. Duggan will bring down another board. She averages 8 to lead the team. Wenzel.
Well, this zone is really hurting them. See, they switched into this zone, and they haven't been able to make shots since.
And they'll take Wenzel shooting up 3, shoots 21%.
That's the game plan. And typically Joe likes to play man-to-man, but he will switch that up when he needs to.
Duggan got ahead of the field. And Cooper gets the personal. So for Cooper now, she's going to be saddled with a couple. And Duggan at the free throw line. 76% for the regular season. 3rd team all-conference player. 4-year player for the program. And if you're a senior like Duggan and Wenzel, you have to be elated to have this kind of success in your last year.
Of course, I mean, that's huge. You want to go out on top. I mean, we talked to Adelaide Martucci at the end of the last game, and of course I asked her about that. Listen, it's your 5th year as a senior. How is this one a little bit different? I mean, it is. Let's face it, it's a different kind of feel that you have. It's that sense of urgency. This is it for me. I'm finishing out. That's why I love to see seniors in March Madness, conference tournament time, and then in the NCAA tournament just rise to the occasion and play their guts out.
Landy caught up. Outlets it for Kramer. Off of Toulouse. They'll reset the shot clock to 15. Fairfield's got a nice blend of players with all those seniors we talked about, but then the backcourt of Landy and Foley, and then bring Kramer off the bench. Ryder hasn't had a field goal in over 6 minutes.
They've really amped up the defense, and again, settling for perimeter shots. Stopped going into Duggan. Duggan can't finish there.
Now Milligan calls a certain call. Toss it to Luzo. Hushkova, Wenzel, and Duggan. Looks like they want to go downtown to Duggan. So we saw Fairfield off to a sputtering start. Now Riders going through their own problems, missing their last 7 attempts from the field.
Big lack of scoring here as of late. Those eventually have to fall for you. They're going to play a zone. 0 for their last 7 is Ryder.
And 1 of 9 on 3-point tries.
They've still got to make it a point to move the ball and to even penetrate the gaps of that zone. You can't just settle for perimeter shots the whole time, or you're going to be in trouble, especially if you're not hot.
And Fairfield doing without 2 starters right now, Cooper and Carey. The only one out there is Smith out of the big 3, as they call it. Miller goes up to get it. And when you talk about that trio, they've scored 64% of their points this year. But Miller's giving them a lift off the bench. Rebound to Duggan. Duggan has 6 rebounds already here in the first half. And look at her emphatically calling out the set.
She's calling her number. She wants to go down, post up probably here.
Posset with Wenzel.
Nice.
And Miller on the foul.
Good high-low action. Duggan started that whole thing with her communication, with her leadership skills. Just, hey, listen, let's do this. You saw her just pointing, and they ended up getting an opportunity.
Cami Hushkova, 2-time the College Sports Madness MAAC Player of the Week. She makes that one there. She's had a big year here in her junior year. Second team all-conference player, had 23 season high against Manhattan back in January.
She creates mismatches for a lot of teams. She can play some 4, but plays a lot of 3 for him. Expanded her 3-ball game a little bit better this season and worked extra hard in the offseason to get where she is.
Smith has taken some off-balance shots. Shot clock rolls. It didn't draw iron. Duggan another board. An empty possession again for Ryder.
8-minute drought.
6-point lead here for Ryder. Got out to the 10-2 lead after 1 quarter of play. Smith from Danbury, Connecticut. And the putback by Miller.
Ryder stopped getting physical. That's what's happening. They stopped getting physical with Fairfield on the glass. I mean, that's an easy second chance opportunity there where you just get the extra possession.
And Hushkova couldn't put one in with the defensive presence of a Stag right behind her. So the drought continues for Ryder from the field. They've missed now their last 10 shots. Here's Landy trying to put a dent into that deficit. Open look. And that will do it. What a low-scoring game at halftime. Ryder 17 and Fairfield 13 as the two teams head to the locker rooms in a defensive struggle. No Perkins in the lineup, out for a 7th straight game with a foot injury. Wenzel had easy access to the basket early in the ball game. Smith got some separation there on Duggan. And Duggan had the big first quarter numbers, but it's gone away. She's missed her last 7 shots at the break.
All right, you guys started out this game really, really slow. What I want to know is, what was Coach Frager's message to you guys after that first timeout when you came out, played a little bit better after that?
I mean, well, a big theme for us this whole weekend and during the season is that we're not going to break physically and mentally. And I think because we have come out with such a slow start that we just can't let that get the best of us. And we just got to come out in the second half and play the way we know how to play.
But how did you manage to creep back into this one after all the turnovers? Typically, you guys don't turn the ball over, but you creep back into it, and this is a close one.
Right. I mean, the way the vibes are in the gym, you thought we were down by 20, but you look at the scoreboard and we're only down by 6 or 8. So I just think keeping our heads straight and realizing, listen, this is a single-digit game and just playing our game, and obviously we have to limit the turnovers because that's not our game. So hopefully there won't be any in the second half when we come out and, take the lead.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you. Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Nice half.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice job. You started out the game phenomenal. Since then, went on a bit of a drought. But how has your physicality really given them a hard time? You went away from it a little bit where they were able to come back.
Well, especially since they're a post-oriented team, you really just got to keep them out of the paint. So just keeping them off the block, keeping them off the boards, it's big.
The switch to zone, I think, gave you guys a hard time in the second quarter there. How do you guys get some easy baskets out of that zone?
We just need to get into our flow. Same thing as if they were in man. We just got to set screens, get to the basket, kick out threes.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks.
And back here at halftime, Riders 17 and Fairfield 13 in a very low-scoring game. And Julianne just had a chance to check in with Fairfield's leader, Kelsey Carey.
All right, you guys started out this game really, really slow. What I want to know is what was Coach Frager's message to you guys after that first timeout when you came out, played a little bit better after that?
A big theme for us this whole weekend and during the season is that we're not going to break physically and mentally. And I think because we have come out with such a slow start that we just can't let that get the best of us. And we just got to come out in the second half and play the way we know how to play.
But how did you manage to creep back into this one after all the turnovers? Typically, you guys don't turn the ball over, but you creep back into it, and this is a close one.
Right. I mean, the way the vibes are in the gym, you thought we were down by 20, but you look at the scoreboard and we're only down by 6 or 8. So I just think keeping our heads straight and realizing, listen, this is a single-digit game and just playing our game, and obviously we have to limit the turnovers because that's not our game. So hopefully there won't be any in the second half when we come out and, take the lead.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
This is the 9th game of the tournament. Started on Thursday and moved into the semifinals. First semifinal was won today by Quinnipiac as they bested the 5 seed Iona. They advanced to their 4th consecutive MAAC final. Awaiting the winner of this game between 3 Fairfield and 2 Rider. And right now at halftime, it's Rider with a slim lead of 4 at the break. Several awards were handed out during the weekend, and we'll come back with a special package on that when we return after this.
There's one state that has more ski mountains to choose from than any other in the country. And that's not the only thing you can only find in New York State. You can find it all, only in New York. New York, it's all here. It's only here. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
You must do the thing you think you cannot do.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become.
It is not best that we should all think alike.
He who learns but does not think is lost.
The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly.
Oh, the things you could think of if only you try.
If you can play in the MAAC.
We pledge to respect everyone.
We pledge to support the LGBTQ athletes.
We pledge to create a safe and inclusive environment. If you can throw,
You can throw.
If you can shoot,
You can shoot. If you can swim,
You can swim.
If you can run.
you can run.
for everyone at Canisius,
Fairfield,
Iona,
Manhattan. Marist.
Monmouth,
Niagara,
Quinnipiac, Ryder,
St. Peter's.
Siena.
If you can play in the MAAC.
Oh, that's lovely.
So graceful.
The corkscrew spin, flawless. His signature move, the Flying Dutchman. Poetry in motion.
And there it is, the baby bird.
Breathtaking.
A sumo wrestler figure skating? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Heather saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
And welcome back to halftime of our MAAC women's semifinal game here in Albany, New York today. And earlier this week, the MAAC handed out several key postseason awards. Here's a look at this year's winners.
The 2016-17 The Rock MAAC Women's Basketball Coach of the Year, Lynn Milligan, Rider University. Milligan becomes the first Rider women's basketball head coach to win MAAC Coach of the Year. She has guided the Bronx to 22 wins overall this season and 16 in conference play. The 22 wins are the most since the program tallied 26 wins in the 1981-82 season, and the 16 conference wins are the most by a team in Bronx history. Rider is the number 2 seed in this year's MAAC Women's Basketball Championship, its highest seeding in history. The Rock Women's Basketball Coach of the Year, Lynn Milligan of Rider University. The MAAC Women's Rookie of the Year, Rebecca Hand of Marist College. Rebecca Hand averaged 13.4 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 3.1 assists per game in 30 starts for Marist. The guard led MAAC freshman in scoring, rebounding, free throw percentage, defensive rebounds, and minutes per game. She ranked 10th in the league in scoring, 8th in rebounding, 6th in assists. The Argyle, Texas native was named MAAC Rookie of the Week 8 times this season and is a unanimous selection to the All-Rookie team. The MAAC Women's Rookie of the Year, Rebecca Hand of Marist College. Siena College sophomore guard Jackie Benitez is the 2016-17 MAAC Women's Basketball Defensive Player of the Year. Benitez anchored the Saints on the defensive end of the court and tallied the most steals in the MAAC with 86 and was second in the league with 3 per game. The sophomore averaged 16.7 points and 4.2 rebounds per game in 29 games this season. She was named to the 2017 All-MAAC First Team and took home MAAC Player of the Week twice. The MAAC Women's Defensive Player of the Year, Jackie Benitez, Siena College. The 2016-17 MAAC Women's Basketball Sixth Player of the Year, Thais Purvis from Monmouth University. The senior averaged 10.2 points per game and converted the 4th most three-pointers in the league this season with 64. She led the Hawks in scoring 9 times this season and scored a career-high 26 points against Eastern Michigan on December 12th. Purvis is the second player in program history to take home the Sixth Player of the Year honor. The MAAC Women's Sixth Player of the Year, Thais Purvis, Monmouth University.
Congratulations once again to all of our MAAC Award winners just announced on Friday. And special congratulations to Lynn Milligan, the 10th year head coach as Coach of the Year. Coming up next, we'll come back, take a look at some of the video highlights and numbers from this first half when we return to Albany right after this.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best, while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Carve your own path or prepare for the next surge in your career at Monmouth University. Located along New Jersey's coastline, this beautiful campus is just 1 hour from New York and Philadelphia. Monmouth University offers a welcoming and dynamic setting for student development, innovative academic programs, nationally ranked Division I sports, and renowned faculty make this private university a great place to find your future. Take root, make waves, and become a part of something bigger. See the difference at monmouth.edu.
Oh, yes, there you go. Little dribble drive.
Feel the intensity. of NCAA March Madness.
That's a three.
You've got to see it to believe it. The 2017 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship first and second rounds. March 16th and 18th at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets for your seats today.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
Back here at halftime, one of the heroes of the win for Quinnipiac as they won the first game earlier today against Iona. And a well-deserved appetite right there is Natalie Martucci. And what a defensive
She probably won't be happy we have her on camera while she's eating, right?
Yeah,
she's like,
her face,
stuff in my face right now.
Right? But what a job she did on Lizarazu, especially in the second half.
She was incredible.
We're back here on camera. Julianne Viani, Dean Darling, thanks again for joining us. Our second semifinal of the day. Boy, that was a weird first half when you think about it. It was all Ryder in that first quarter, 10-2, and 10 turnovers on Fairfield, but Fairfield got back in the game in the second quarter.
Ryder was able to really out-muscle them. I mean, that was the game plan. They were getting it inside, and they came out strong, and Fairfield just really started out the game scared. They really played scared, like they were nervous to be here in the semifinal, that they didn't belong here. But since then, they've done much better. 12 turnovers is way too much. I mean, they've got to clean it up in the second half if they expect to win this game.
All right, let's roll in some of those highlights. And it was a highlight reel type of tape for Duggan in that first quarter.
And that's what's to be expected from Julia Duggan. She's done a nice job stepping up. She is a key component to this team as far as the interior play. She's really strong. She's, like I said, out-muscled the post players of Fairfield. She's looked for the ball, and they have looked for her. She's come off some screens, especially down low. She's active on the glass, so you've got to really be happy with the way that she played in that first half. And then for Fairfield, Miller was kind of the lone bright spot. There really wasn't too much good offense from Fairfield, but Miller was the one that was really looking for her shot. When she was able to post up deep enough in the lane, she'd get the ball and she would turn and face and finish. So a nice player here. She's got to continue to really be assertive, and they need to find some other people to step up and score because Fairfield right now just not scoring enough points offensively.
Not getting enough from the big three, as we call them, and Miller again was 3 for 3 from the field. We take a look at the first half numbers brought to you by I Love New York. New York State, it's all here. It's only here. And anything really stand out to you other than the poor three-point shooting by the two teams?
And neither team is shooting the ball that great, and I think that the turnovers is obviously the big bugaboo, and no free throws from Fairfield. They're not getting to the basket, although they don't go to the basket a ton. I mean, they don't take it off the bounce a lot, but they need to get to the line to get themselves going a little bit.
Ryder misses their last 10 shots in the last 9 minutes and 6 seconds of that second quarter. Battle of the mascots going at it near midcourt. The Stag and the Bronc. Boy, everybody's competing here today in our second semifinal. 17-13 at the break. Ryder leads it. We'll be back with the third quarter right after this. As we come to you from the Times Union Center, a second semifinal today. The 3-seed Fairfield trailing to the 2-seed Riders 17-13. Trisha Fabry's team, that lady right there holding her phone, waiting the winner of this game. Quinnipiac knocking off Iona earlier today by 5 points. Julianne just spoke with Riders' best player, Duggan. Let's check out that interview.
You started out the game phenomenal. Since then went on a bit of a drought, but how has your physicality really given them a hard time? You went away from it a little bit where they were able to come back.
Well, especially since they're a post-oriented team, you really just got to keep them out of the paint. So just keeping them off the block, keeping them off the boards, it's big.
The switch to zone, I think, gave you guys a hard time in the second quarter there. How do you guys get some easy baskets out of that zone?
We just need to get into our flow. Same thing as if they were in man. We just got to set screens, get to the basket, kick out threes.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks.
Julia Duggan got off to a great start, Julianne. She was 3 for 3. She misses her last 7 shots, but she does lead them in points and rebounds. She had 8 as well. But Kelsey Carey, boy, she was emphatic to you during that earlier interview you had with her.
Animated, I love it.
Yeah,
good interviewer.
Yeah, and she basically, we believe, and that's our theme this weekend. And obviously they got into a major hole, down 10-0 at one point, then battling back to close within 4 here.
Well, you never want to lose a game because you're not playing with enough heart and intensity, and a team is making you play scared. I mean, that to me, and as a former player, is the worst thing. When you play bad because you're playing scared. And that was what they were doing in the beginning of the ball game. And since then, a good response. They've really tightened this game up.
What do you think she talked to her team about?
Well, I think she wants them to go back to what they were doing earlier in the year in the game and just out-muscling them, out-physicaling them. But they've got to make some shots, Dean. They haven't made shots in this zone. They've got to be able to attack the zone, penetrate, pitch, find the open player, just get back to good ball movement.
Possession starts with the Stags here in the third quarter. Very fortunate to be down by 4 at the break. Foley had to beat the shot clock. Posset starts here in the second half with Johnson, Hushkova, Duggan, and Toulouse. So Lynn Milligan deciding to go with the sophomore versus the senior Wenzel. Johnson, plagued by a couple fouls in that first half, dug out by Duggan. And a reset here for the Rider Broncs. 18-1 this year when they lead at halftime. And one of the reasons you might surmise why she starts Posset here, they need some shooting against that zone in the second half.
Yeah, they need to flat out make some shots. I mean, you can move the ball, dribble, penetrate against the zone all you want, but eventually you have to make some shots. That's just the way you get a team out of it first off, and then that's the way you get some interior play into this lady right here, Duggan. She needs to see touches, but it's too easy to cover her and pack it in if you're not making shots.
Rider finished a game back of the Hunt leader, Quinnipiac, with a 16-4 record in the regular season. That's how they cornered the 2-seed. Fairfield ended up getting the 3-seed.
Nice high-low. That's what you got to do, and these guys are good at that. The Kelsey combo, or the Carey combo. Kelsey Carey.
I like that. Here's Duggan. Took a little shot going to the basket. Now they've missed their last dozen shots. Smith, Carey out there with Foley, as well as Cooper. Off the spin, Smith draws the 2-shot foul. Seems that Casey Smith really hasn't been able to get herself squared up on the basket. She's been awkward in some of her shot attempts from the field.
And that's been because of the bumping. You know, you get a little bump. You need to have that body control to be able to finish it with the bump. And she's had a hard time there.
And if she can this free throw attempt, it's been a long way back for this Fairfield program. Never leading in the game. Got her right behind in this one. So it's still a 1-point lead for the Broncs. They've extended that zone as well. They take the shot clock under 10. And a block. Skova off the dribble penetration. Draws it there from Foley. Second one off Foley, first here in the third quarter.
And Foley is their best perimeter defender. So she's out there at the top of the zone trying to harass a bit.
Ryder's only loss in their last 10 games was on the last day of the regular season to this Fairfield program by 4.
And it was a sloppy game then, too.
Low scoring. Again, no Robin Perkins the last few games for Ryder. The cut by Hoshkova. They let him play on. And Duggan was getting those rebounds in the first half.
Well, I mean, I think that Duggan's having a hard time right now getting rebounds because Fairfield has at least stepped up a bit on that department. They're starting to put some bodies on people. They're doing it by committee, I think, too. I mean, that's something that actually Joe Frager harps on quite a bit, is that when we don't rebound, and he tells his players, I've heard him tell them constantly, we've got to rebound. So I think they've made a point to make sure they put a body on her. Now that's her third personal.
And it's pretty well defined. They're going after Duggan.
Yeah, they want to go after her. If they can get her out of the game, it's a different team. They're not as physical.
First lead of the ball game for the Stags on 2 makes by Casey Smith, who had attended St. Joe's University but transferred in. Toulouse, a wild left-hander. Ryder's pressing right now.
Yeah, they're pressing and they're not taking good shots. That's not a good shot there. They were patient in the beginning of the game.
Back cut Cooper. And a late whistle.
Real late. I didn't even see the contact. Let's look at it.
Call it on Toulouse.
That's, couldn't see from our angle, but looked like a nothing foul.
Well, Fairfield's been going to the line here early in this third quarter. Good chance to make up the deficit. It was only 4 at the break.
Yeah, and that time was a real miscue defensively. Ryder really got lost. They're starting to lose their player and lose their focus on the defensive end.
So here is Cooper from Canada. Redshirt junior. Duggan for another board. Hoshkova. Boy, did she explode on that baseline.
They needed that bucket bad. Their first field goal in almost 13 minutes. Huge, huge drought.
Yeah, they went 9.5 minutes at the end of the second quarter without scoring a field goal, and they missed a few shots here to start out the third quarter. Landed trying to get by Johnson for Foley. Dug out again by the Stags. They are showing some grit here in the third quarter. Stags 13-10 as the 3 seed during the MAAC playoffs. They've won 3 MAAC championships, but they haven't won one in 19 years.
And it's been a long time.
If they won this game, they'd end up playing Quinnipiac, who they split with this year. It was actually a game I called over in Bridgeport on ESPN 3. They took Quinnipiac out of their offensive game.
Well, both these teams are out of their offensive game. Look at the score. This 18-19. That's a low-scoring game right here. Compared to last game, 2 real defensive teams, and nobody seems to be able to put it in the basket for a long period of time.
Stella Johnson got her 3rd foul. 30 points between the 2 teams at halftime. A dearth of scoring, I guess is what you could call it. So fouls now beginning to mount on Ryder. Duggan's got 3. Johnson's got 3. Kramer, nice move.
Those are things you've just got to finish. Focus up top. It was in and out.
You get the feeling that Ryder's going to have to rely on Hushkova here in the second half. She's got the moxie. She's played a lot of minutes in her 3 years here.
She is. Besides Duggan, it's going to be her. She's stepped up a lot this season.
Toss it. Dow for the jumper by Hushkova. Ryder thought it was off Fairfield, but Fairfield gets the whistle. 19-18. Ryder holding on to a precious 1-point lead.
So, Mr. Harris, we have your fingerprints on the safe, a photo of you opening the safe, a post using the hashtag #JustRobbedTheSafe. So, what are we supposed to think?
Switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance.
Excellent point. Case dismissed.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
At Niagara University, we believe that whatever you do, you should do it with all of your heart. That before you can fly, you need to be encouraged to spread your wings. That having a few great professors can make all the difference. That while pursuing a degree fit for the 21st century, you should learn a little about yourself too. And that feeling prepared can take you places you never thought you'd go. Are you ready to feel the power of Niagara University?
There's one state that has more ski mountains to choose from than any other in the country. And that's not the only thing you can only find in New York State. You can find it all, only in New York. New York, it's all here. It's only here. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
At Quinnipiac University, learning has no boundaries. The world is our classroom. Learning is more than just seeing new places. It's experiencing cultures, exploring professions, and making friends. It's exchanging ideas and pursuing your passions, here and there. Take a seat in our world-sized classroom. How far you go is up to you.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best, while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
And coming up later on today at 4:30 here on ESPN3 during Championship Week, we move over to the men's side. Number 4 Siena coming off a 12-point win against Fairfield last night in the quarterfinals, taking on the MAAC regular season champ and number 1 seed Monmouth Hawks. Of course, Siena led by Marquise Wright and Javion Oganyemi, and Monmouth with the MAAC Player of the Year, Justin Robinson in center.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the second one is 7, you got number 2 seed Peters coming off a 3-point win against Canisius in the quarterfinals. Number 3 Iona lining up against them, who defeated Ryder last night. And just great players, great seniors involved in these events here. And then the finals will go off ESPN2 tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Back tournament time, going to be fun.
Of course, the women's game, you'll be calling that on ESPNU at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Quinnipiac to play the winner of this game. Right now, nobody is really making a clear statement.
Right, and I'm curious to see how many Siena fans come off of that men's game. Get a little bit of an advantage being up in Albany here, that's for sure.
Right, 4:30 game. So here is Landy and company for the Fairfield Stags. And we'll take the shot clock under 8 seconds. Both teams have struggled from the field mightily. Fairfield 7 of 25, Ryder 7 of 34. And here in the second half, Ryder's only made 1 attempt in 7 tries.
And that 13-minute drought is a really big drought. I mean, maybe one of the biggest droughts I've done in a game. I mean, that's a long time without scoring.
Here's Duggan, and this is what worked in the first quarter.
They were pounding him in.
She got deep into the box.
Yeah, you got to get her the ball. She has to continue to really, really move and be active too down low, because it's gonna play a big role as far as her getting some openings.
And that snaps a personal 0 for 8 streak for Duggan, who hit the first 3 shots of the game. Smith with that hook, rattled it in.
And they haven't been able to get Samantha Cooper going. She's not even out there, but in general, there's some players that haven't really been able to get going here for Fairfield.
And Duggan goes right by 2 defenders and hooks it in. And Duggan, back-to-back buckets.
Every time I hear her name, I want to say "Do the Duggan."
Yeah, I know.
You know, like that song.
Yes.
She's doing it.
She is Julia Duggan. In fact, she's a Jersey girl. And the rebound picked up there by Fawcett.
Watch out for them, right?
Yeah, really. This is Hushkova. Ryder getting a little bit of a spark right now, scoring the last 4 points of the game. Going to the rim. And the last 3 buckets have all come inside the lane.
It's all about attacking for Ryder. They were in attack mode earlier, and they went away from that, and now they suddenly bump up 5 points because they're going inside. You can't settle for perimeter shots. Even if, I don't care if the team's in the zone, you can still find ways to get it in.
Pushing the lead back to 5. Smith over Duggan.
Tough shot. That's Spinny's move right there. She loves that little turn. It's not like a hook shot, but it's sort of reminds me of one.
And Casey Smith has the size at 6'2" to get that over defenders. Here's Johnson in traffic. Walk. Hollinshead comes back in at the point position for the Stags. Exit landing. Johnson's out as well for the Ryder Bronx. Wenzel's back.
What helps with Casey Smith is when her teammates are hitting outside shots, because she draws a lot of attention. And when they can hit some shots and stretch the D, it makes her life a lot easier.
Carey off the elbow. Hasn't been a big night so far for Carey, but she has hit 3 of 5 shots in the rip-off by Hollinshead.
Well, you're trying to force it into Duggan.
Carey squares up on Doan. Smith. Fairfield has grabbed the lead by 1.
Smith suddenly getting assertive.
Duggan. And Cooper has the glass for the Stags, so now they've got the ball. Less than 30 seconds left in the third quarter and a precious 1-point lead. Back cut. And the score that time by Foley.
Good movement without the basketball. You've got to cut hard to the basket. That's the Fairfield ball we like. A lot of assists involved.
Final 6 seconds of the quarter. Posse got bumped by Smith. And that is 5.
Posse with a hesitation move and just a late rotation. That's the right call. A little bit of a bump.
Well, they just put it up on the board wrong, and it's actually just the first foul on Fairfield and 5 on Ryder. So they're going to get Smith out with the personal. Off the inbound, Posse short-armed it. Oh, and a whistle. Hushkova on the putback attempt is clipped. And it is Kathy Lonergan with the arm in the air.
Should be 2 shots here.
Be 2 shots, and they'll pull probably everybody off the line. However, they're going to go over and take a review of it right now to make sure that the foul was called within the time element as time was coming off the clock. So they're over there now. Kathy Lonergan.
She got it up on time.
Yeah, she was getting bodied right there. think it was Foley. And again, the officials now over the courtside monitor taking a look at it. Joe Figure talking with one of his assistant coaches. After the 8-0 run by Fairfield late third quarter, they've taken a lead of 3. And if it stands up, they'll have Hushkova at the line. They're going to put 1.1 second back on the clock.
Going to add a little time here. Well, either way, they're going to have a shooter.
Ryder still huddled around Lynn Milligan. Now they come out.
But that is enough time to get a tip in. If she misses, oh, it's not shooting.
So they called it on the box out, and that's why there's no.
That's why they added. That's why they added some time too.
It appeared to be on the shot, then they take it off. So 1.1 second remaining here in the quarter.
Oh,
Inbound
wow.
quickly.
Oh.
And Hushkova rushed it. So after 3 quarters of play, Fairfield's come back. And they lead Ryder as we head to the fourth quarter, and a 3-point lead for the Stags.
Congrats on Coach of the Year. Thank you. Never got to appreciate that. Thanks. You're welcome.
Lynn, you guys went on that 13-minute drought. How do you get back into getting some good shots off and kind of getting your offense flowing again?
Well, I mean, I think we are getting good shots off. Unfortunately, we're not making too many today yet. But we got 10 minutes more. We got to make sure that we stay in flow and continue to get the good shots that we want. And I have confidence this team will step up and start to make them.
It seems like assertiveness, getting it inside, and getting to the basket's been helping.
It has, I mean, we're trying to get Jules touches on the block. We've got to make some better moves. We got to get a couple second chance opportunities. Continue to go to our strength, and we'll see what happens in the last 10.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Fairfield had a very good third quarter, outscoring Ryder 15-8. As you see the line score right there, the Ryder Bronx cheerleaders trying to bring their team back from a 3-point deficit. Juliet just spoke to Ryder's head coach, Lynn Milligan.
Lynn, you guys went on that 13-minute drought. How do you get back into getting some good shots off and kind of getting your offense flowing again?
Well, I mean, I think we are getting good shots off. Unfortunately, we're not making too many today yet. But we got 10 minutes more. We got to make sure that we stay in flow and continue to get the good shots that we want. And I have confidence this team will step up and start to make them.
It seems like assertiveness, getting it inside, and getting to the basket's been helping.
It has, I mean, we're trying to get Jules touches on the block. We've got to make some better moves. We got to get a couple second chance opportunities. Continue to go to our strength, and we'll see what happens in the last 10.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
MAAC Coach of the Year, Lynn Milligan, her star player on the bench beside her. Robin Perkins out with a foot injury with a 7th consecutive game. And there's a worried look on the Player of the Year in the MAAC and Robin Perkins. Her team got outscored 15-8 there in that third quarter. As you look at this graphic, the turnovers by Fairfield really hurt them. Just the 2 points because they gave it back 10 times. Yeah. And then in the third quarter, 15-0 in the points there for this Fairfield team. Nice comeback.
Have not turned it over at all since the second quarter. Yep. They had 2, but 10 in the first quarter was a killer. But a big donut. That's the way to take care of the basketball.
And Ryder had a couple opportunities at the end of the quarter, but couldn't put it home. Here's the steal. And a miss there by Foley.
Think about this, though, Dean. It's the fourth quarter, and it's only 28-25.
Yeah.
Both these teams just stopping each other.
Are they going to challenge a record, possibly?
Honestly, it could very well be a record. I think it is for the MAAC tournament.
Hushkova willed the ball to the basket with the left hand.
If they're going to get ahead here and win this game, Hushkova has to come up big this quarter, along with Duggan. You need that other scorer.
Hollinshead starts the fourth quarter, didn't start the game. Joined by Cooper, Carey, Miller, as well as Foley. Here's Carey in traffic. Duggan another board. She's up to 16 rebounds. Well, Julianne right on cue about the fewest points scored in a MAAC tournament game.
It's been a few years, but it's certainly approaching that time.
55 right now on the board collectively. 67 is the record back in 12 in the quarterfinals between Siena and Manhattan. Dave Freeman, who has been here working since, I think, Wednesday.
Freebird.
The tournament started on Thursday. Yeah, Freebird has gotten it done.
We appreciate you.
He is a free bird, too.
Team MAAC.
And Hushkova rolled one out. Oh, she takes it back and draws the foul.
She's playing tough. See, she has got to continue to be tough in there. She's a gym rat. She's that kind of player that you really want on the floor, especially in battle like now.
Ryder hasn't missed at the free throw line. 5 for 5 in the ball game. And on the year, they shot 72.7%. Not a bad number. Riders claim the lead again by 1. 2 ties, 4 different lead changes in this ball game. Cooper getting a little bit of separation on Toulouse. Looks like the Stags want to rebalance the floor. 17 and 13, their overall mark. Off the win yesterday against Maris. 7 and 2 in their last 9. Fought uphill most of the game. Remember, Smith likes to go to that jumper.
That's a good defensive possession for Ryder. Forcing a really tough shot in the corner. But it's staying.
Hollinshead with a valiant effort. Lucky, though, she didn't touch it. Fairfield to keep it. Casey Smith doesn't want it to end on this court in her senior year. As well as Carey. Cooper's going to be back next year, redshirt junior.
Forcing it. Now, that hasn't happened all in a while, but Cooper trying to force the action.
Hushkova coming up with a hustle play that causes another foul. Carey's third. And already Fairfield with 3 here in the final quarter of play.
Nice defense. Way to stay straight up.
She went right into that double team.
See that they're sending the double. They're not going to make it easy on Duggan.
Tipped away by Johnson. She led him in steals this year. Wenzel trying to power to the basket. Looks like Landy on the foul. And Wenzel trying to keep this streak alive at the free throw line for Ryder. 6 for 6.
A lot of the keys to their success this season has been Wenzel keeping the pace of the game. She's not shooting the highest percentage throughout the season, but has that presence on the floor.
Four-year player, actually a redshirt senior, so she's been with the program 5 years. Playing her 4th year of competition. 2 big makes. Back and forth we go in this one. As Fairfield had forged ahead by 3 with a late 8-0 run in the third quarter. Now it's been Ryder starting strong in the final quarter. Timeout from the Frager bench. 10 on the shot clock. He saw they weren't getting the ball inside. 6:59 left. Final quarter. 3-point Ryder lead. Trying to advance to the championship against Quinnipiac.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
We are MAAC. Student athletes from MAAC schools meet 3 times a year
to discuss NCAA legislation,
share our school's best practices,
and make a difference
by volunteering in the community.
At the MAAC, our voices are heard.
Though we compete against each other,
we are united,
working towards the common goal of enhancing the student-athlete experience.
We are
MAAC.
We are St. Peter's University, a place where students who are eager to learn are taught by people who care, on a campus designed for both to thrive. We're proud to offer incredible learning opportunities and life-changing experiences, and that means our students are prepared to succeed in their fields, in their communities, and all over the world. Get to know St. Peter's University, the Jesuit University of New Jersey.
If you want to celebrate winter in a palace of ice, there's only one place to go. And that's not the only thing you can only find in New York State. You can find it all, only in New York. New York, it's all here, it's only here. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
Download the MAAC app to get instant updates on MAAC news, scores, standings, and videos straight to your mobile device. Go to the Apple App Store or Google Play to download tonight or visit MAACsports.com/mobile for more information. Some of the young ladies from Quinnipiac on their phones. Wonder what they could be researching right now.
They're probably texting.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. You know. Texting each other while they sit next to each other. Is that the day we're in?
Just had a good shot there of Julia Duggan. What a game she's had. 12 points, 16 boards. And it's the 12th time this year she's had a double-double. Ryder needs some patience. They come back from a deficit now to take a lead, looking for that inside-outside game. Both teams have struggled mightily on the perimeter. 1 of 8 for Fairfield on threes, 1 of 10 for Ryder. Trying to post up Duggan.
Nice
Beautiful
move.
spin.
Yeah. Good positioning there. She got really deep in the lane again. You can't allow her to get that deep in the lane or she's just going to score on you every single time. You've got to try to push her out towards the high post area, not on the low block.
She's taken a third of their shots in this game, 6 of 15 from the field.
That happens because she's stronger and more physical, but that's a really nice finesse move on the other end.
On
by
the step
Smith.
through, yes.
Yeah. Kind of that European style of play.
Using the fakes to free up the drop step to the baseline. And Johnson forcing the issue. Lynn Milligan trying to close out a win. It would be the first ever appearance in the MAAC Finals for Ryder. If they can get the W here today. It's only the second time they've been in the semis. She feels really good about this team this year, even with her star player out, Robin Perkins. Sometimes coaches just have a feel, don't they, about their team? I think the way we talked to Tricia Fabry before today's game, she knew, she felt in her bones her team was going to beat Iona.
Absolutely. I do think every coach feels some type of way about their own team for sure, but Lynn Milligan definitely feels the best about this group that she's felt in years. Even talking to her early in the season. Just good chemistry, a solid mix of veterans and youth.
School record 22 regular season wins, the most in 35 years. Stags have given them a heck of a game today. Peluso will save it. Peluso for the three.
But Stella Johnson is such a sneaky player. Look at her. Look at her hustle. She streaks down the floor, makes a nice little move for the kick out, but her teammate couldn't finish it, but then she comes all the way on the other side to grab that rebound, that long rebound. She's just such a hustler. Not a lot talked about her, but she leads them, kind of a silent killer, as Lynn Milligan likes to call her.
In the game against Siena this year, she had 2 steals in the final 9 seconds of the game to help them win by 1.
Leads them in steals, brings the energy. She's a bigger guard too, which is helpful.
New shot clock here for Ryder. Under 5 left. Huskova draws the 2-shot foul. So Huskova, right place, right time. Couldn't finish, but she'll be back to the line where Ryder is made 9 of 10 here today.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
Oh, that's lovely.
So graceful.
The corkscrew spin, flawless. His signature move, the Flying Dutchman. Poetry in motion.
And there it is, the baby bird.
Breathtaking.
A sumo wrestler figure skating? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Heather saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh, yes. There you go. Little dribble drive.
Feel the intensity of NCAA March Madness.
That's a 3.
You've got to see it to believe it. The 2017 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship first and second rounds. March 16th and 18th at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets for your seats today.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
MAAC basketball is brought to you by Geico. And I love New York. New York State. It's all here. It's only here. Visit iloveny.com. And Life Storage. It's your life. Store it with care. And UHY, the leading choice for professional tax and business consulting services. UHY, experience the next level of service. Coming up at 4:30 Eastern Time, Siena and Monmouth will tangle here at the Times Union Center. The question mark, Micah Seaborn, injured the other night, a quarterfinal game with a knee that's been bothering him over the last month of the season, and a first-team pick, all-conference. Will he play? He was basically carried off the court the other night, and again, he makes him a better team when he plays.
He's incredible, and he was playing for a while there. We did his Manhattan game a couple weeks back, and he was not himself. He has not been himself for probably this past month, where he's been pushing himself to play, and I think it's gotten to the point where he's had to sit off of it. But looks like he might be able to play today. He's a question mark, but they could use him, that's for sure.
So here's Fairfield as Hushkova missed on that last one. 5-point lead for the Rider Bronx. Dug in another rebound. She's got 18 boards in the ball game. She get very close to a tournament record. Her career high is 19 rebounds earlier this year against Monmouth.
What a game she's had, though. She has beasted inside. Nobody's been able to put a body on her. .24 on the shot clock. A little less than 4.5 left in the fourth quarter. Championship quarter, they call it. Winner of this game advancing. Monday's championship game, 5 o'clock, ESPNU against Quinnipiac. Will be making their fourth consecutive appearance. Duggan got ushered to the baseline at a foul. It's interesting. I'm looking up at the board. 5 fouls on Fairfield, none on Ryder here in the final quarter. That's interesting.
Smith picked up her 4th foul.
Now, Ryder is taking it at the basket a little bit more, so they aren't creating some opportunities for themselves. A lot of times Fairfield settles for mid-range game. You've got to be in attack mode to get to the line.
Ryder was on a great series, knocking down their first 9 free throws. Now they've gone a little bit silent here with Hushkova and Duggan.
Nice post-entry pass there, but see Julia Duggan sitting right behind. As a guard, you got to see that, not maybe throw it. But that was really nice help rotation.
Wenzel, Johnson, Hushkova out there with Posset. And, of course, Duggan tapped out of bounds. This defensive effort by Fairfield has brought them back into this game after they got into a major hole early.
Both teams have defended, that's for sure. It's been the offense that's been the problem. At times for both teams, they've kind of traded droughts. That's another foul. Is that the 5th?
5, yeah.
Yeah, Casey Smith.
Casey Smith is like incredulous about it.
She was the only one doing anything offensively.
She had the big second half.
Yeah. Nobody else has done anything. Samantha Cooper, 0 of 7. And then, her senior year, and that's it. Fouls out with 3.5 minutes to go. She really put her heart and soul into it, but who's going to step up here? They haven't had anybody really step up besides her.
11 points in the second half.
Tremendous career, though, she's had.
Duggan has missed 3 in a row. So the lead's at 6, 3:26 left for the Rider Bronx.
Now, here's the thing, Dean. I don't know that Fairfield has enough firepower in them or toughness in them to pull this one out. They may surprise me here down the stretch, but I just don't see it.
And again, they're going after Duggan. Carey's the only one left on the court right now out of the big three of Cooper Smith.
She's coming off a tremendous performance against Marist. I mean, she had the 15 points. She's surely capable of it.
Fourth foul on Duggan.
Nice tip. See, she is all over the ball. I just love her hustle.
Got some jets.
Yeah, Stella is super quick. Just a freshman, too.
And that will take it under the 3-minute mark in this possession. Fairfield's first turnover of the second half after having 10 in the opening quarter. Wenzel hits the three.
Big shot.
They had hit only 1 of 11 before that, and the senior steps into a big role as the other senior comes off the bench, Robin Perkins, to congratulate fellow senior Taylor Wenzel.
Well, she'll make the big one, and this is the big one right here. Really nice ball movement. You get an extra pass in, and the defense just a little bit late for the shot, and Wenzel just spots up, and purity right there with the score. Lynn Milligan keeping her cool. But that's a player who really loves the big lights, not afraid. She's a senior. She's really good against the zone when the ball is moving.
Wenzel and her team 2 of 12 from the three-point distance.
And she typically only shoots about 25% from three. So not the greatest three-point shooter in the world, but that's a big one right there.
3-time all-academic player in the MAAC. She's working on a major in public relations and criminal justice, so she's got a dual major and being a Division I basketball player. Putting Cooper back in for the Stags is Joe Prager, Carey, Miller, Landy, Foley, the rest of the crew for the Stags, and a concerned Casey Smith, who just fouled out of the game. Hossett, Wenzel, Duggan, Johnson on the floor with Hushkova, and a foul just over the midcourt line. So Ryder got off to a 10-point lead in this first half of the game. Fairfield came back to go up by 3 at one point, and now Ryder has extended to a 9-point lead, trying to finish it at the free throw line. Hossett misses. The lead again at 10 for the Ryder Bronx. And Ryder can take more time off the clock. Every Stag foul, it's double bonus time here in the waning minutes. Hossett. That could have been the final straw.
A lot of heart, a lot of guts from Ryder here at the end of the game. Multiple players stepping up, and I think Casey Smith going out with that foul just ignited them even more.
So after missing 10 of their first 11 three-point attempts, they've hit their last 2.
And that's big. You want to do it in crunch time, and they've made some big shots and big plays down the stretch here, and that's what's been important for Ryder, and I think where their veteran influence comes into play. We've got a couple of young guys out there, but the vets leading the way.
Time now to look at our life storage play of the game. It's your life. Store it with care.
Well, they did it when it counted, and this was a big one from Wenzel. Wenzel stepped into this three, stroked it pretty well. That really put them up with a nice cushion offensively here with the ball movement. Beautiful shot and timely.
I've been noticing all week, and Robin Bergen's been carrying around that placard, Go Bronx. As again, she is out with a foot injury, missing the last 7 games, missing the entire tournament, and probably won't play in the MAAC championship game on Monday the way it appears with a foot injury. But a Rider team winning 5 of the 6 that she missed before today. You mentioned relying on a couple seniors like Duggan and Wenzel, and then getting contributions from a junior Huskova, and then youngsters like Posset. Miller gets their first bucket in a while. Really, it's going to be up to the Rider now to finish the game at the free throw line.
But you mentioned it, though, and Dean, contributions from multiple role players down the stretch. And even if it was a play here, a play there, you look at some of the things that Stella Johnson did as a freshman here for Rider, and just that's been key. Those little things add up to big moments and add up to victories.
Fairfield 17-13 as we started today, came off the win against Marist. Feeling good about themselves, having won 7 of their last 9. But that bench is happy right now. Their team is up by 13 with 90 seconds left. Kramer off the elbow. And Cooper for the putback. Johnson wisely didn't foul it. We'll send Posset to the line. The concerned Fairfield bench as Casey Smith and company really feeling the effects of this game. Hollinshead that played in this ball game. Now all is on Rider. Can they make free throws here just to finish the game off? And really to feel good going into the championship game if they do secure this win. Here's Carey. Johnson draws the foul from Kramer. Well, if you look ahead, Rider holds on to win this one. They lost twice to Quinnipiac in the regular season, but they did finish number 2 to Quinnipiac, and it went right down to the final week of the regular season. Well, they could have ended up MAAC co-regular season champions.
Right. Now they're taking on, it's going to be interesting because Quinnipiac is tough. They're really tough, and they're going to be able to match the physicality of Rider. I don't think Fairfield had the ability to match that today. That's where they had the hard time. Duggan will have a little bit of better matchups against the Quinnipiac. And you just feel like when you watch a team, there's a grit about both Rider and Quinnipiac, especially Quinnipiac, though, in that grit, that will to win, that competitive nature. You just didn't get from Fairfield today. They were a little too nice. That's the feeling that I get from Fairfield. They came out a little bit too flat. Didn't have enough firepower.
So let me ask you this. You got Quinnipiac going to play in their 4th straight MAAC final. Experience galore. You got Rider, never gotten to that point. This was only the 2nd time they've been in the semifinals.
Right. So here's the thing. You got a team that's hungry, but they don't have experience being there. So what's going to take over? The hunger to get the win, or is the team that's experienced going to take over? And they've been there, and they still are hungry to continue on that legacy. They lost last year's final, remember.
Joe Frager has told his team to back off. Rider still has a shot clock situation, about a 9-second differential, and looks like Lynn Milligan's emptying the bench as well as Joe Frager. So the Rider Broncs going to make some history. It'll appear in their first MAAC championship final. Came into the league 20 years ago. Dribble out the clock there.
A good fight, though, by Fairfield. It just was not their night. I mean, I've seen them throughout the season play much better than they played today. And this is the tough part about conference championship time. You can have a great, illustrious season and then lose in the final or the semifinal and then never go to the dance. And that's why in the mid-major level, you just have to win.
Here's Landy with 2.3 left. Rider just has to inbound. And the Rider Broncs are going to the MAAC final to take on the 1 seed Quinnipiac. Just the way you draw it up. Number 1 Quinnipiac and number 2 Rider as the two coaches greet each other with a hug and a whisper. A win for Rider, 49-36 as they advance. Obviously, tough situation for the senior Kelsey Carey as well as Casey Smith for the Fairfield Stags. And Rider obviously elated. They get their 24th win overall of the year. They'll take on a very hot and experienced Quinnipiac program. 5 o'clock, ESPNU on Monday night. We'll be back, wrap this one up right after this. There you look at the updated bracket. 1 and 2 play in tomorrow's championship game, 5 o'clock on ESPNU. Quinnipiac and Rider. Rider just victorious over Fairfield in the semifinals, 49-36. We send it out to Julie Enviani.
Coach, your first ever MAAC championship appearance. You guys made history today. How did you do it?
Well, we did it with 15 young ladies that are committed to how we play. Are committed to the commitment of Rider women's basketball. It starts with defense. It starts with caring about one another. It starts with having each other's back. And I think you saw that today against a great Fairfield team that beat us twice this year. We had to really grind it on defense today because buckets were not coming easy. And I'm just so proud of these kids. I'm so proud of how they bought into everything that we do and everything that we are. Just really proud, and we'll look forward to tomorrow.
You did it without the player of the year and Robin Perkins. How pivotal was it for you to get contributions from a lot of players? Because a lot of players today stepped up in big moments.
Well, we've been doing that since Robbie went down. This is, I think, game 7 since we haven't had her, and we're 6-1 without her. So we've had a lot of different people know that they have to step up and contribute. Cammie, LP, Taylor, Julia. It comes from all of us. That's the way we're always built. We've never been built around one player. Robin certainly makes us better, but this group just understands what we have to do to win.
You made a couple big threes at the end. We're not hitting shots earlier, but they were in pivotal situations. How much do you attribute that to some veterans on your team?
Well, I contribute to veterans. I contribute to the confidence they have in one another. Lexi Posset stepped up and is never afraid to take the big shot. And Taylor's my 5th-year senior point guard. So if my 5th-year senior point guard's got enough guts to step up and take a 3 in a big spot, then we're feeling pretty good.
Well, point guard play has been great, but so is your post play. And Julia, you had a tremendous performance. And just talk about how well you did today as a group, as a team. You stepped up in the paint. You were physical. And how much was that a part of your game plan?
Well, like Coach said, it's everyone this year. We can't just go by one person, but getting the inside-outside game is big because it keeps the defense guessing. So just being able to get the ball into the post, get a layup, that makes them guess, and then you can kick it out for a 3.
Your first ever MAAC championship appearance. So what are the emotions going through your brain? It's your senior year. It's got to be a lot right now.
Oh, my God. It's crazy because my freshman year was the last time we were this close. Semifinals against Marist is when we went out, and just being able to actually get to the championship is something special.
And how much were you thinking about that Fairfield overtime loss in the regular season in this game? Because you guys played really hard, especially in the second half.
That's been in the back of my head for a little bit, but, everyone makes mistakes at some point in their life. But I don't think I was thinking about it during the game. I was just thinking I need to get this win for the team, and so we can keep moving forward.
Great job, and good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Julia Duggett, our Geico player of the game. What a game. She had 20 points, 15 boards, her 21st career double-double as she leads her team to a victory over Fairfield, 49-36. That gentleman right there, Justin Robinson, two-time MAAC Player of the Year, leads his team against the hometown favorites, the Siena Saints. Number 1 Monmouth, number 4 Siena at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN3. Here in a semifinal matchup on the men's side. Be sure to join us all weekend to catch all the action of the 2017 MAAC Basketball Championships right here on ESPN. It's been a lot of fun this season covering the MAAC women on ESPN3. For Julie Enviani and our entire crew, I'm Dean Darling saying so long from Albany, New York.